affiliate marketing experts, or at least soon to be affiliate marketing experts. In this video, I wanted to give you a quick run through of the WordPress dashboard. If you are already familiar with WordPress, then by all means, feel free to go ahead and skip this video. But if you are completely new to WordPress, then definitely go ahead and give this a watch, as it's going to give you a good idea of exactly how WordPress works. Do bear in mind that your WordPress dashboard may look slightly different to mine in regards to the options you have in the left pane menu, because the theme you have installed is going to have an impact on what options you do and you don't have. For example, this option right here called Rehab, well, that's only an option if you install the same theme that I installed in the previous videos. But what I'll do is I'll walk you through the main things so you have a good idea. So let's get to it. So the first part you're going to see is going to be your home page. So whenever you log into your WordPress website, you're going to land on the dashboard or the home page, and it's going to look pretty much similar to this. And it's just going to really give you an overview of your website, such as the recently edited articles. It'll give you a little snippet on events and news in the WordPress world as well. So if you are interested in reading any of that, then of course you have all that information right there. But that is pretty much your home. You don't really do any optimization or any page creation on your home tab. That is where you come into the second part, which is your post. So a post is pretty much, as it says, a post you put on your website. I typically like to use posts for all of my blog posts, and anytime I create a money page or a contact page, about page, whatever page I have in mind, I actually like to use the page feature. I'm going to have a dedicated video on the difference between page and post, as there is definitely some things you need to be aware of. One cool feature that posts actually have is these things called categories, and pretty much what a category is let me show you ClickSlice to give you an example. It's like when you publish all of your blog posts, some of your blog posts are going to be on different topics, right? For example, I have a category right here for SEO, and I also have a category right here for branding. If I go ahead and click branding, the category in the URL changes to branding, and now it's only showing me blog posts related to branding. So you can actually go into your WordPress website and create categories that match your keyword clusters. This is going to lead to better site organization and also make it easier for your readers to find the blog posts that they are interested in. We can see at the moment I've got quite a few categories already created. The reason why these are here, as these actually came as part of the theme. However, as my website is going to be about table saws, I don't need any of these like laptop, kitchen, house. So if you see some in here from your current theme you don't need, just feel free to go ahead, select the one you want and just delete it like that, and that will then be removed from your WordPress site. If you don't like any of them, you can literally click up here, go from bulk actions, click delete, and then click apply. That will then delete all of your categories. And by looking at these, I don't actually need any of these. None of these are related to table saws whatsoever. So below posts, we have media. So whenever you upload an image onto your website, it's going to land right here in your media. Now, 9 times out of 10, when you want to add an image into a blog post or even on one of your money pages, you're not going to come to your media. You're actually going to upload the image into the page creator whilst you're building the page. But essentially your media library is your media library where all of your images are going to reside. If you click on any of them, such as this one, for example, it will give you a final URL. So this will be the URL where the image is uploaded. So if you copy this URL and then go over to Google and then carry out a paste, you'll see it's a dedicated URL just for that image. When I run through some of the plugins you should be using for SEO for your website, I'm going to show you how you can make sure that these individual URLs do not get indexed, as you obviously do not want people to find these URLs on Google, as there's no value to the user. It's literally just one of your images. So yeah, it's very important you're aware of that, as some people will literally index these images and they'll have like thousands and thousands of these. And what that results in is you literally using all of Google's crawl budget for them to index your images instead of your actual affiliate content. So that is your media library. Below your media library, we have pages, which is opposite to post. Again, I'll run through the difference of these in a dedicated video. However, you just need to know for now that pages is what you should be using to create your money page content. All of these options right here are related to my theme. So again, don't worry about that. Elementor is the page builder that I always use and is the one that came with this theme. But anytime you're going to make any high level changes to your Elementor settings, this is pretty much where you do it. Although you can actually make changes to a page using Elementor in the page builder. If that sounds a little bit confusing, then please don't worry, as I'm actually going to build out a page for you in real time using Elementor, so you can see exactly how it works. Below that, you have your templates, which again, as it sounds, will be all your templates for the site. Then you have your appearance. If you plan on having any widgets on your website, or even just updating the menu, for example, this is where you do it, all under appearance. If I go over to the first one of the widgets, you can see we've got a sidebar for our post. We've also got sections right here for our footer. So this is pretty much all the information that is in the footer of our website. If we wanted to edit that information, this is where we do it. And just to show you exactly what I'm referring to that and make it a little bit more clear as well, let's go back to the website. Again, it looks exactly how you last saw it, as I haven't made any changes to the home page. You can see we've got these parts of content right here in the footer. Rehub is a modern all-in-one price comparison, blah, 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 blah. Go back to the widgets, and that is exactly where the text is. So all that information you can edit here. The same applies to the menus as well. If you want to change your menu structure and what you show in the menu, you pretty much create the page and then you can find the page from view all, or you can literally carry out a search for the page as well and then add it to your site's menu. Below appearance, we have plugins. So WordPress is most popular because of the amount of plugins you can actually have on it. If you want to add a plugin for anything in particular, you can just go over to plugins, click add new. It will then open up the plugin library where you can search for anything you want. Go ahead, install it and activate it. And the great thing about the WordPress plugin catalog, as it lets you know how many times these plugins have been installed. For example, the classic editor has been installed over 5 million times and it's rated 5 stars. So you have nothing to worry about if you want to get this installed on your website. When you're seeing plugins that doesn't have that many reviews, such as 2, you probably want to avoid them or at least check the reviews to see why people are rating them low. Some of these can do a lot of harm to your site if you install ones that are malicious or ones that have been compromised by hackers. Below plugins, we have users. So if you plan on adding anyone to your website, maybe a content writer who can go ahead, write the content and upload the content themselves, you can literally come into users, click add new, and then give them the user details. They'll then get that on an email. They can log in and do what they need to do. It's important to note you can actually assign them roles as well. So you don't have to give them admin where they can change everything. You can just give them editor role or even a contributor role. They can go in, add what they need, and then log out of the website. Moving on to the last 2 sections, as these are all related to the theme, we've got tools and settings. So tools you probably will never ever need to touch. I don't think I've ever gone into the tools on my WordPress website, other than when I'm trying to add a piece of code into the head section of my website. But that's by leveraging a plugin, as I'll show you how to do when it comes to adding Google Analytics on your affiliate website. And then we have settings below, which are pretty much self-explanatory. This is the main settings of your website, where you can change the site title, which is pretty much the text you see in the browser. So at the moment, it says www.cuttinghq.com, just another WordPress website. So that would be my tagline. If you want to change any of that, this is where you can do so. The rest of the other stuff, I don't recommend you change, as these are pretty much system defaults. But on the whole, that is pretty much the WordPress dashboard. I don't want to go too deep into it, as like I said, it's going to be different depending on what theme you are using. But that is pretty much how it is. It's very simple and straightforward to use. And it's going to make a lot more sense once you see me create a page. But I will end this one here and see you in the